In order to utilize the thread charts in IDS, we must first activate the thread chart or turn it on. So we're going to go to View and then to our View Preferences. And here we will select Use our thread library. We also want to display the thread bar at the bottom and use that thread library in our images when we do put stitches in there. So we'll go ahead and press OK. By default, it just goes to the Silco poly. So I'll go ahead and press OK. And now you can see our thread chart at the bottom. To switch between different thread charts, if you left click on the single spool of thread, I can now go to a different thread chart. So let's say I wanted to go to the Robust Anton polyester. Once I left click on that, you'll see that change, and you'll also see my design slightly change. So if I want to make my own thread chart of what threads I do have in stock, I can left click on the 3 spools of thread, and when I do that, my thread module comes up. If I'd like to make my own thread chart, I would left click on the Add Catalog, and when I left click on that, I'll just name the thread catalog, whatever you'd like to name it. I'll just name it My Thread, and go ahead and press OK. When we press OK, the catalog My Thread comes up, but there are no threads in there. So now what we will do is we will bring over some threads that are in the Robust Anton chart. So I'll go down to the drop down arrow and choose Robust Anton polyester. Now I can sort the thread by thread color, darkest to lightest or lightest to darkest, thread number, and also name. So I'm just going to do this by thread number. Now I'm going to pick some threads. They're not necessarily what I have, but just for example purposes, let's say I've got old gold, everything from old gold all the way to baby blue. I've got 5501 through 5506. If I left click on 5501, it highlights it. If I hold my shift key and left click on 5506, it selects everything in between. With selecting everything in between, now I want to select Emerald 5514. If I hold shift, it will select everything between, but if I hold control and left click, it'll select Emerald. So I can go through here and I can pick and choose the threads that I have in my inventory. And after I have them, let's go ahead and choose black as well, and white. After I have them selected, I can now go to the button Copy To. If I left click Copy To, scroll down, and choose My Thread, I'll copy those threads to my thread and press OK. Now, if I choose my thread, you can see what I have in here. So that's what I want. I'll go ahead and press OK. It'll go to that new thread catalog, and it will now match the threads that I have in my thread catalog to the design I have up on screen. So you can see here I've got Robust Anton 5602, which looks kind of like this one down here. And then I have Rust, which is 5505, which looks like this one down here. So whenever I do go to my print preview, you will see that it's My Thread, Robeson, and then that blue. We can add threads from other catalogs too. What we can do is, let's go back to this My Thread, and we're going to choose some thread from Madeira. So I'll choose Madeira, and then I'll select some random Madeira ones. And maybe let's choose an orange. I will select Copy To, and when I select Copy To, I'll choose My Thread, press OK, and OK again. And now I've got, actually went to Madeira because that's what I last chose, but let's go to My Thread, and now you can see with My Thread, it's got those threads in there. So maybe now this is a Madeira color, and if I hover over it, it's Madeira, that gold orange that I chose. and this is still the Robust Anton. So I can see what's in my inventory and apply it to my design.